The showdown is not meant to cause offense or harm. The viewer acknowledges any reliance on the accuracy or completeness of said content should be done at their own discretion. The host apologizes in advance for any affront as a result of personal attacks.
Oh, none of that applies here. I go easy on Bob Costas. That's what everyone says. I show Bob ultimate respect. I rarely yell at him. I just go, oh, Bob, good point, that sort of thing. How are you, Bob?
Yeah. I appreciate that. That's the proper deference. Thank you.
Bob, Angels, that's the best possible result yesterday. Doubleheader sweep. After they go in, they got Giolito going tonight. But what do you think of the Angels' overall decision?
You know, I said about a month ago that I thought they would wind up retaining him. Artie Moreno has kept faith with his fan base and also with the people in the clubhouse where they acquired Giolito and Lopez. They're making a run for it, 3 games out of the wild card. We're not talking about, even with all due respect to Mike Trout, who's a generational player, Shohei Ohtani is a once-in-a-lifetime player. You know, when I was 15, 16 years old, there were people only in their 50s and 60s who could tell me that they saw Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth play. That was fascinating. Someday, Angel ticket holders will say, I saw Shohei Ohtani play, young lady or young man. This perhaps is worth more, even if he leaves for 2 months, especially to make a playoff run.
Yeah.
Plus, he can say with a straight face, I kept faith with you guys, and I made a representative offer to Ohtani. We did everything we could to keep him.
Right.
And who's to say? We can't read his mind. Who's to say that if, in fact, they get to the postseason and do well, that he wouldn't be inclined to stay there?
Bob, he might stay anyway. Bob, he likes it there. They won the Angels have won the sweepstakes with Ohtani already. I'll say I like the real world decision. All right, right in the real world, they're trying for it. Hey, and they got probably the best pitcher on the free agent the trade deadline market in Giolito. This is a quality guy, and Ronaldo Lopez is a quality arm out of the bullpen. They're going to be kind of a different team. I have to ask you this though, Bob. How is Ohtani playing game 2 of that doubleheader? It's a straight doubleheader. He pitched a complete game. He's never done it. They roll him out to DH again. He hit 2 home runs. Everyone's going to say that today. He almost, if that's his oblique that he was clutching, we got a real problem. How are they, in real time, Bob, I'm thinking, how are they rolling him out in game 2?
Because it's a feel-good situation, and he's Shohei Ohtani, and he unloads 2 bombs. I happen to be out in California. I watched every pitch of both games of yesterday's afternoon doubleheader. Matty V, by the way, with Mark Gubicza, very entertaining broadcast. It's almost as if they all got a shot of adrenaline. The whole feeling around the team, Bobby Valentine on the pre and post, the whole thing, this day really meant something. Now, I grant you, if he winds up on the IL with an oblique,
we got a little problem. Yeah, it's over. By the way, he's got an oblique. It's over. Yeah. Bob, the risk management makes no sense. And by the way, I'll go back to April. On Patriots Day, in the rain, they rolled him out in the rain for a start that he only went 2 innings. So I've seen it before where I'm thinking, where's the awareness here? He's out on that's the golden goose out on a soaking wet mound, 11 o'clock in the morning in Boston, Bob, in April.
Little bit different. Clearly, he was okay and had plenty in the tank because he hit 2 home runs. We'll see. I mean, that could have happened. That could have happened tonight in Toronto with him.
Yeah, no, but no, come on, you hedge your bets. You're not sending a guy, hey, straight doubleheader, go play 2 after you pitch a complete game.
He's Shohei Ohtani. He's
blown out already. Bob, he had surgery on his arm. He's blown out before.
I get it. You have a point, but it's not overly convincing to me.
Yeah, because he's not hurt right now. Right, because he's not hurt right now. So you're not convinced because he's not in the hospital right now.
Right. If I see him being wheeled down the corridor
then you're
on
sold,
a stretcher, then that's a different thing. Let me point this out. Right. The next month, starting tonight in Toronto, this is what the Angels have. Blue Jays, Braves, Mariners, Giants, Astros, Rangers, Rays, Reds, Mets, Phillies. So that month and change will tell the story.
Yep.
It's a very, very tough stretch.
Maybe he can pitch every game, Bob. Maybe he can play shortstop. Look, what are we doing? All right, Bob, was it time for the Mets? One more thing. Bob, this is where, I got to draw the line. No more one thing, Bob. That's enough. I'm walking off. That's it.
This will take 10 seconds.
All right, prove it. Go ahead.
10 seconds.
Go ahead.
Suppose they grab the 3rd wild card. That means they play in all likelihood the Twins or the Guardians. If they have Ohtani and Giolito, they're favored to win that series.
Okay, yeah.
They're favored to get as far as the division series. They got a shot at an October run. Go ahead.
Bob,
Floor is yours. It's your shot.
Was it time for the Mets to punt? I was surprised by that trade last night.
You could make a case that it was. You know what happens? Starling Marte, Jeff McNeil, Marte an all-star last year. McNeil wins the batting title. They both regressed. Verlander and Scherzer still obviously useful, but huge fall-offs from last year. Scherzer not so much in terms of one loss, but ERA. And Verlander had an epic season a year ago. His ERA now was under 2. His ERA now over 3. He's got a 5-5 record.
They're 7 back. They're 7 back, Bob, of that last spot.
Yeah, I can understand the move they made. Yeah, that doesn't mean they waved the flag for next year, but I can understand it this year.
Okay, Padres are only half game better. What should they do?
Well, I don't think you can trade Soto. You look at their lineup, it's all right-handed heavy with the exception of Soto. Cronenworth's hitting barely 200 with just a handful of homers. Everybody, Bogarts, Machado, Tatis, even Hassan Kim, who's having a great year, all right-handed. You need some left-handed pop in the lineup. Could they trade Blake Snell? Could A.J. Preller, who's always bold, figure, we could do what the Yankees did years ago with Aroldis Chapman. We could send him out as a rental, get something in return, maybe re-sign him. This year's probably a wash for them. But obviously, with the talent they have on their squad, they're not completely retooling.
Yeah, Snell and Hader are in their contract years. They could be dealt, but that would kind of not make them special enough this year. If they trade those guys, but Snell's been an ace. It's not happening if they trade either one of those guys, right?
Right. They could give up on this year, but make the case to their fans that they're only doing a quick retool, not retooling the roster, but just resetting for next year. And look at all that talent. We'll be a contender again.
Bob, they're already yelling in my ear. They're saying, see, you show him too much respect. You shouldn't have let him do that 10 seconds. He always has another point. That's it. Bob, good.
Yep.
If I may. What,
it was
Bob?
a good point. It was a good point, BK.
It's a good point, Bob. You're Bob. It's Bob Costas.
Thank you.
Bob, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.